recording now.
Yeah, Larry West.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thanks again for sitting down with us and doing this
totally.
the interview. So the first question we have is, as the governor of New Mexico, you were at one point the highest-ranking U.S. official to support the legalization of marijuana. What are your reasons for that?
I just think that 90% of the drug problem is prohibition-related, not use-related. That's not to discount the problems with use, abuse, but that ought to be the focus. I think that we should legalize marijuana, tax it, regulate it, control it. I think that we should adopt harm reduction strategies regarding all these other drugs. Harm reduction strategies, reducing death, disease, crime, corruption, looking at the drug problem first as a health issue rather than a criminal justice issue. Half of what we're spending on law enforcement, half of what we're spending on the courts, and half of what we're spending on the prisons is drug-related, and to what end? We're arresting 1.8 million people a year in this country. I think this is insanity. Definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results.
Can you elaborate just a little bit on the Our America initiative and why it pertains to all Americans rather than just a certain constituency?
Well, we'll see if it pertains to just more Americans. The idea here is to put a voice to the outrage that I think Americans are feeling right now. And I think at the basis of that outrage is spending, is the debt, is the fact that we're bankrupt. Bankruptcy, the Federal Reserve is printing money to cover our obligations. A result of that is going to be a severely weakened dollar, significant inflation. It's on the horizon. So really looking at all of the issues that we face today from a cost-benefit analysis. What does it cost? What's the benefit? I think that's what people want to hear about. It's what people are really interested in. Now, rather than sit on the couch and theorize this, OurAmericaInitiative.com is really about me going out and finding out if this is the case.
Yeah. What do you think about Dr. Rand Paul, who just won the primary in Kentucky and could be in a good spot to win the statewide election?
Well, I think it's fantastic. I think it's also indicative of the sentiment right now nationwide, which is that everybody that's in office belongs out of office. I think that what happened in Utah with Bob Bennett, very significant. I think that what happened with Arlen Specter, very significant. I just hope that Republicans don't view this as a mandate as opposed to really getting religion when it comes to the pocketbook and really making the changes that this country needs to see.
The Republican Party has never been kind to Ron Paul. At one point, they supported his Democratic opposition in the 90s, and you obviously, too, are a much more constituent, freedom-loyal politician than a party-loyal politician, and especially as a libertarian. How has the Republican Party taken to you and your viewpoints and what you've done?
My experience has been really positive, and it continues to be positive. So that's my experience.
Okay. As a Republican, you were opposed to the war in Iraq. What was a little bit of your reasoning behind that?
Just the notion that we should have a strong national defense, but that we really weren't threatened, that constitutionally, it's not in the Constitution that we fell foreign despots just because we don't agree with them. It's just not in our Constitution. Now, if there are weapons of mass destruction and we are actually being threatened, that's another story. But I believed that we had and still have the military surveillance capability to see these things unfold ahead of time and can deal with them in a timely manner by doing that. I believe that we would become mired in a civil war to which there would be no end, and I'm afraid that's where we're at.
What do you think will be the most important issue to Americans going into the senatorial elections this year?
The pocketbook, period. Just the spending, taxes going up across the board, unsustainable debt, government spending has to get slashed.
just two more questions here for you. You mentioned that as governor of New Mexico, you turned the line item veto into sort of an art, I believe is what you said.
Art form, new art.
An art form, yeah. Well, how do you feel about the line item veto being given to the president's office in Washington?
Oh, I think that would be a significant improvement to what currently exists. But I think that the way that it currently exists, I think that legislation needs to be outright vetoed. And if the veto gets overridden by Congress, then citizens in this country can make a choice. They can get a new president that goes along with the Congress, or they can vote Congress out until they get a Congress that goes along with the president.
And my last question, this is just coming from me personally more. Obviously, you know, Governor of New Mexico, a lot more centered around the Southwest and the West. Are you doing any stops on the East Coast at all? Do you have any plans to go out there?
Yeah. No, I've been out there perhaps more than the West Coast.
Because I guess what I was saying is, you know, back at Northeastern, I'm trying to start a Young Americans for Liberty chapter there. And if you were ever in Boston, would you be interested in coming to speak to students at Northeastern?
Absolutely. So just get on the website and you can arrange that. So I've been to New Hampshire a couple of times.
I presume your kind of schedule of where you stop is there.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll work with if you come to Boston, I'll work with the College Republicans and Harvard Libertarians and all the different colleges to try and get an event together. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd love to take advantage of that.
We'd love to have you come speak. Okay.
Great. Okay, cool.
All right, thank you very much for this interview.
You've
been a great speaker, real nice guy.
Thank you guys.
I'll be honest. Usually when I meet with politicians, they're kind of skeezy. So it was a pleasure meeting you.
Skeezy. That's a new one to me.
Well, I spent a day with the Lieutenant Governor of Ohio when I was in high school, and at the end of the day, I was like, this guy must have a PhD at saying nothing in as many words as possible, because that's all he said all day.